Attention Cloud9 shoppers, this is the Superstory Podcast, a Superstore fan podcast with Matthew Haas and Michael E. Cullen II.
Okay, everybody. Welcome to the Superstory Podcast, a Superstore fan podcast. I am your host, Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is...
Matthew Possum.
You changed your last name?
Yeah.
It's no longer Haas?
No, it's Possum.
Possum.
Yeah.
Like awesome possum?
Yeah.
Well, I'll change my name to Blossom.
Okay.
Whoa. And then, we'll be good. I can be Awesome Blossom, and you can be Awesome Possum.
I like that.
Or we can just go back to being Matt and Mike.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Do that.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You okay, man?
Yeah, I'm right.
All right, good. Just making sure. Making sure you're good with that, okay? Are you awesome?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a possum?
Not anymore, no.
What happened?
I'm just back to my old self now.
Are you?
Yeah.
So you're awesome Hassam?
I tried it out for a minute, and I just didn't like it, so I went back to Matt Haas. So I'm back to my old name now.
Matthew Allen House?
In a span of like a minute, so... Yeah. I try new things. Sometimes they don't work out, so it just,
Yeah, that happens.
It work,
like that time I decided I wanted to, be a tap dancer.
Yeah.
Professionally.
Or the time I tried sriracha ketchup for the first time, wasn't a fan of it.
No.
No.
Have you tried Cranch?
No. What's that?
It's a new thing that they have out there. It's got it's ketchup and ranch in the same bottle. It's called Cranch.
I don't think I like that.
I don't either, but something wants me to try that.
Try it?
Yeah. Because I like ranch.
Yeah.
And I like ketchup. Just not sure if I like the two
together.
together.
I don't know. I mean,
my mom likes ranch on her fries.
Yeah. Sometimes it's all right.
So what I was thinking is I could get her some Cranch, and then maybe I could convince my mom to go to ketchup. You just wean her off of the ranch slowly.
Yeah. I like honey mustard with fries a lot.
Really?
Actually.
Never tried that.
I liked it a lot.
I'm not a big mustard guy, though.
Yeah.
So,
but I like mixing mayonnaise or Miracle Whip with ketchup. That's kind of a
there's like mayonnaise and ranch, so it's one of the ingredients in ranch.
Yeah, but it's not the full ingredient. I don't know.
No, I know, but there's other ingredients in it too.
Yeah.
But
so that's a segment from our cooking show.
Yes.
Called The Ranch. A preview.
Yes. So if you would like more of that, please message us and let us know on our Facebook page. Yeah, just look up Superstory Podcast on there and let us know if you would like to hear more about our tastes in condiments. We're not going to talk about any other food, just condiments.
Yeah, just stuff you put on food. Yeah.
It's a show that you're going to relish.
Yeah.
Was that funny?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
I was trying to think of another one, but I couldn't on time.
Yeah, you got to catch up, Matt.
Yeah, I have to catch up.
Attention Cloud9 Associates, it is now time for orientation.
Give you a little bit of info about the episode here.
Sure.
This episode was the second episode, really kind of the first episode of Season 2, called Strike. It originally aired on my mother's birthday, September 22nd, 2016. Speaking of my mom, who likes ranch on her fries, this episode aired on her birthday. If you're out there listening, Mom, which I doubt it because you probably don't know how podcasts work. If you do, though, I love you. And happy birthday.
Well,
when this aired.
Yeah.
You would have been 3 years younger or something or more, depending on when this airs. So, good times. Let's get some Cranch. Anyways, this episode was directed by Victor Nelly Jr. and written by Jackie Clark. So, what happened in this episode here, Matt? Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So in the last episode, chronological episode, Glenn gets fired because he gave Cheyenne maternity leave, but he kind of did it in a sort of offhanded way by suspending her with pay, and then corporate found out about it, and so they fired him because he didn't get their permission to do it. And so everyone leaves to protest him getting fired, and Dina pulls one of her, Machiavellian things where she, gains control somehow and just ends up getting them all fired and just replaced them all as workers. So then they go on a 2-day strike according to Jonah and a 1-day strike according to Amy, because they had a difference about what the first day actually was or constituted. And then, they send some dude from corporate named Jeff. That's the introduction of Jeff as a character.
Jeff Sutton?
Which is one of my favorite characters in the show.
Yes.
It's the very first episode that he's been in. And, he doesn't really change as much as a character, but it's just still...
They do have a lot of exploration on his character, and I think they do. I think they do give him a little bit of a story arc, which is good, for a character. But he is kind of set in stone of his personality, at least. And
I'm good.
Okay, just making sure you're good, Matt.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, there's something going on with the microphone. Anyways, it's a newer studio. We're still trying to work out the kinks. Like Ray Davies.
Good band, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, this whole full-fledged strike goes on that they have, and during this time too, Garrett meets this gorgeous woman who is protesting as well. But because Jonah had tweeted out about the protest to his 1,506 followers on Twitter.
Number.
A lot of the people didn't understand what they were protesting, and some people thought they were protesting, statehood for Puerto Rico, while others thought they were protesting trans rights to use use bathrooms, like they were against trans people using bathrooms.
Yeah, they tried to basically kind of take over the protest for their own agendas.
Yeah. And sadly, this beautiful woman that he falls for, played by Lisa, Lisa K. Wyatt actually plays one of the people. That's not her, though. The gorgeous woman is played by Sarah Dumont. The character's name is Nikki. Mm-hmm. And there's also one of Glenn's, one of the other people protesting the trans stuff is Maggie, played by Lisa K. Wyatt, who goes to Glenn's church, but she's more bigoted than Glenn, as he says. So Garrett's really into this chick because they're both into video games and sci-fi stuff and everything, and it turns out, she's got this whole thing where she's just basically thinks that men are born men and women are born women, and that's how it goes.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just prejudice. So he tries to kind of, feel her out a little bit, are you, is this something that you really actually are passionate about, or is this something that you're kind of raised, with this kind of low-key prejudice that you can kind of get over if you've actually started hanging out with different people or whatever, type of thing.
On a little tangent here that I'm going to go on for a second. Warning, folks, if you don't like the tangent.
Warning.
Fast forward about 30 seconds. But the basic thing is, lately online, after the last season ended that was on, people were upset by the season finale, saying, "Oh, the show got all political and shit." The show's always been political. This is proof in point right here. I mean, they're all about union rights and about trans rights and different things like that. They brought up politics in America, and they do give both points of view in certain ways. I mean, they don't necessarily promote both points of view, but they do show the points of view and stuff, and they've basically been a representation of America. They might lean a little left on things, but whatever, you know? I'm just saying that.
I mean, yeah, it's like, you know, the right-wing people, they got their own shows. They did, like Last Man Standing. I mean, it's not on anymore.
Oh, yeah,
it had
it's still on.
Oh, it is? All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Fox picked it up again.
It's
like
had a
last year or
good,
something.
you know, what, 7 seasons, 8 seasons right now?
Yeah.
I don't like that show. I don't really like
Yeah,
Tim
but-
Allen's politics, but hey, that's what they like to watch. They like to watch shows about guns and you know, conservative rights and whatever.
Yeah.
Go ahead and watch
If you want a
that.
very fair and balanced show, watch like Blue Bloods or something.
Right.
That's got both points of view, and it's got, I mean,
Right.
it tends to lean more right than left, but I think that's a balanced, fair and balanced show, basically, when it comes to politics. So go ahead and watch
Yeah,
that if you
and
want.
even
both.
some of the characters in that show even kind of changed their point of view a
Yeah.
little bit. Like the Baldwin guy. What's his name? What's
Not
Donnie?
Baldwin. Not Wahlburger, you mean?
Yeah, Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Because like even like
I said Wahlburger, like his
Sorry,
restaurant.
Wahlberg. Yeah, Donnie Wahlberg's character, you know, kind of starts out as like, you know, like the police are always right, and it's if you know the people they arrest is always wrong. That's just the way it is, and you know he's gotten more nuanced as his character over the like what 10 seasons. I don't know how long it's been on. It's been on for a while.
But anyway,
like,
anyways, I mean, as shows go on, people have things happen to them. You know, it's
Yeah.
just life happens to people, and people are just got to stop realizing that you can't have everything happen exactly how you want in a TV show or a movie. You know,
yeah.
you know, people that are babies over the Last Jedi and stuff. You know, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you know, let it go.
That's the thing, it's like everything. This whole idea that like, I mean, this is kind of a sort of piggybacking off your tangent a little bit, but like,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people act like and think that politics can somehow just be separated from everyday life, and it's like it permeates everyday life. So you can't just say, "Oh well, I just don't want to talk about politics." I don't want. It's like, but everything you do, everything you experience, is somehow either directly or indirectly affected. By,
And sadly,
by that. Like,
everything has become politics, which is kind of sad too. Because in my opinion, something like trans people being able to use a restroom should be a human right, not a political
but then
right.
It becomes this whole,
Yeah.
and like that whole thing too of like you know how exhausting it must be to like have your very existence be somewhat like somehow political. Like you can't just go get some ice cream without like having to write a blog about why you should be able to have the right to get ice cream. Like, you know, like no one else has to.
Don't you damn take my ice cream away from me, Matt.
Like no one
Are you
else-
taking ice cream away from me?
It's like no one else has to write a blog about why they should be able to get ice cream, but you know some people have to write a manifesto just to get permission to go to the ice cream store, and then maybe at that point get served ice cream. Still not a guarantee, but you know you get to the store at least.
Can I still get chocolate chip Haagen-Dazs at the store?
Not anymore.
No?
No, I told you not. Just can't do it.
Well, fuck you, Matt. Fuck you.
But anyway, it's like this whole idea, because I know what you're talking about. You're talking
Yeah.
about that person on Facebook or whatever, or on Twitter or whatever.
Actually, I'm not even talking about anything. I was just doing a bit.
No, when you were talking about they said the finale was too.
Oh,
political.
yeah, there's a lot of people on there.
Okay,
Oh, that
the whole thing
yeah.
about they've been teasing this Mateo thing since the first season when he was
Yeah,
the first season.
well,
the
it
second-
was technically the first season because it was technically the second season, but yeah, it was during the Olympics episode.
that's right. So like
The last episode we talked about.
that's right. Yeah, it was okay. So like they've been teasing this idea that you know he's pretty much like you know trying to you know keep a low profile about you know being undocumented because he's not not sure they're gonna ICE is gonna catch up with him
Yeah.
or whatever. So it's not like just out of the blue they decided because of for the past 6 months or whatever we've been hearing these stories about ICE. This has literally been part of the show for a good 2 years. So again, it's, when you don't follow a show and actually know how the story evolves over time, you're just like, oh well, this episode I didn't like, so therefore it's because of some agenda. No, they've been kind of actually going to the story for a while, but
Yeah, and when life happens to somebody, it happens to people. It's not like it's something that never happened to anyone. But anyways, we can get more into that subject in a few months or years from now when we get to that episode. When this podcast is really blown up and is huge, and
when we go through every single episode, that's still quite a few episodes away. So
when we have, when we've completely changed and somehow we're new hosts and this show's being hosted by, I'm just joking.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm like, wait a minute. We're going to do like a whole like...
we're going to fire ourselves eventually.
We're going to
Matt.
fire ourselves and have other people host our show.
Yeah.
That's weird. And then like dictate to them though like what they could talk about. Like, no, it's our show, so you still have to talk like we would talk. So.
Well, eventually I would like to grow the Cullen Park podcast network into being, not just you and me.
Oh yeah,
That'd
eventually,
be great.
but
Yeah, we'll see.
for right now, it's pretty much all us.
Yeah.
and our 15,000 shows that we've already got.
Yeah.
but then we'll add another 15,000 shows after that.
Yes.
and that will be other people talking about
Hopefully.
theirs. Hopefully,
Yeah.
but right now, we're getting good experience.
Yeah.
right now,
Or
so
we'll just have to create, split personalities, and then,
I get that.
maybe one episode I can be you and you can be me.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good idea. So I'll wear your Flash t-shirt or your Ninja Turtles t-shirt.
Yeah.
and you can wear my Guardians of the Galaxy t-shirt.
Yes.
and then
You can wear my hat.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll be good. So, what else happened in this episode that we haven't covered?
Mateo is still doing his kind of Mateo and Dina are very similar in a lot of ways. They're very ambitious about their own personal agenda. So,
Yeah.
So Mateo is pretending to be on strike with the others, and every once in a while he sneaks back into the store to impress the Jeff, to make it look like he's like a really good worker or whatever. Then so he could basically write down like Mateo's helped out this customer really nice or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes back outside with the sign, protesting. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
the difference between Dina and Mateo, especially in this episode, is that Mateo's a phony where Dina isn't.
No, yeah, Dina,
Mateo's playing both sides of the coin,
Right.
Whereas Dina's just like, this is how I feel, this is what's going on, this
Right.
is who I am. I don't give a fuck, who cares,
Dina
which is respectable, I guess.
is very hardlined about the rules. Like she's interested. She's like the epitome of like the ultimate like individualist. Like follows the rules like in like the work setting, but like when she's not at work, like her lifestyle is just completely insane. Like talking about like how she's got like a truce between like a series of gangs in her neighborhood and all this kind of weird stuff like that. Like,
So, how does this episode end? Like, what ends up happening? I mean, Garrett gets with the girl.
that's right. Yeah, he tells Jonah that he's gonna have sex with her about 6 times, and then he's gonna refuse her afterwards until she becomes a better person or whatever.
Yeah, changes her ways and stuff. Yeah.
And then he says that that's what Martin Luther King would want him to do or something
Yeah.
like that. Jonah and Amy are the last 2 people that are protesting because Amy says that that once they put down the signs, it's going to be like
It's
was
over,
and that they didn't even really do anything. But then Jonah convinces her that it is just like a pause or whatever, that it's not really over, it's to be continued. So then they put down their signs, which nobody really cleans up. They're just laying on the the parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh, and someone pooped in the garden shed.
Oh yeah, that was an ongoing thing. Yeah.
They thought it was a porta potty.
Yeah, but it was just a garden shed that was on display outside.
So people were just going to the bathroom in it, and it was a good heartfelt episode. I liked it because it was about like the team coming together to help out one of their own, type of thing. It was probably one of the nicer episodes where like there wasn't. I noticed this episode there wasn't a whole lot of insults
Yeah.
aimed at other characters from other characters.
Yeah.
Dina, of course, she insults.
Well, yeah.
But like as far as like Amy wasn't really like didn't have like a million little like jabs at Jonah like she normally. I mean, she had a couple, but it wasn't like in every
like it has been in the previous episodes.
like in every other episode, she's got a good 10 or 12 at least.
Yeah.
But this was like she mentioned, his fedora because they they dressed up really nice to meet Jeff to basically tell them like their demands or whatever.
Yeah, so pretty much, it ended on a kind of happy note. They're all going back to work. Glenn got his job back. Why don't we take a quick break here, Matt? And then we'll come back with our employee of the week.
Ooh.
Be right back.
Hi, everybody. This is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast you're listening to right now. With me, as always, is
Matthew Haas.
Yeah, and we're here to tell you about our really cool other podcast called All Too Real 2. And what do we do on that show, Matt?
We watched the greatest direct-to-video sequels of all time, and then we report on them.
And we also talk about other pop culture cool things like video games and conspiracy theories and other awesome things. So if any of that sounds fun to you and you enjoy hearing my voice and Matt's voice,
As
tune
you
in.
should. As you should.
I mean, of course. Tune in anywhere you get podcasts to All Too Real 2. Bye-bye.
You won't find a better quantum physicist than Dr. Gra Horatio.
How do you do? I am Dr. Gra Horatio, a scientist.
However, like many of us, he's useless without a good cup of coffee.
Thanks to coffee, I can accomplish more in a week than a regular scientist can in a month, with just as many psychotic breakdowns. It's quite economical in the long run.
You can hear Dr. Horatio and his exciting adventures in the upcoming radio comedy, Magus Elgar.
Visit MagusElgar.com to download your copy today.
And we're back. Okay, let's jump right into Employee of the Week. Mention Cloud9 Associates. Our Employee of the Week is... Who do you think was the best character this week, and why?
Amy.
Yes.
I think Amy was. Because this is one of the first episodes, I think, where she's like, what's the word? It's not necessarily that she was complacent before, but like, just kind of like had this idea, like this is as good as it's gonna get for me, type of thing.
Yeah.
And then this is, I think, the first episode where she's really starting to kind of get the idea that, you know, there could be more than what they have, and not just for herself, but for, you know, all the employees. Because, you know, originally it was about getting Glenn's job back, but then during the negotiations with Jeff, you know, everything was kind of going fine until Jeff, you know, said that, oh, all you gotta do is sign this form apologizing for protesting, and then she's like, didn't take to that very well at all. Like, what? Like, we're gonna apologize for protesting? Then that's when she started listing all the stuff about, you know, no health insurance, no, you know, just whatever. And then like Myrtle has to walk to work or whatever.
Yeah, it's
and
like
you can't vape in the store and stuff, like all these different demands that other people thrown out.
I want Cloud9 to be closer to my house.
Yeah, like that. And then later on, you know, she kind of mentions the same thing when they go back in the store to prevent people from buying things, and she gets up on the cash register and just starts, you know, saying like, you know, don't buy something from a store that doesn't treat its employees well, it doesn't offer health insurance, it doesn't offer overtime, you know. And like, just like a few episodes before that, even like in the first season, you know, she was like kind of making fun of Jonah for even like caring about stuff like that. And then now, you know,
now
she's the one that's
changing,
like almost being the leader of it though, too. Not just like following Jonah, but almost taking it even further than what Jonah would, because Jonah kind of likes to just talk a lot about stuff. Yeah, he's not. I mean, he's sort of action, but he just likes to talk.
Well, it's like he tried to start, like in the previous chronological episode, he kind of wanted to start like a walkout, but she wasn't having it at first. But then once they fired Glenn, she was all about it. Right. You know, so it kind of shows too how she cares about people like Glenn and stuff. You know, like, I mean, I'm sure she looks at Glenn like a father or something. You know, and so, or an older brother or something, or an uncle, or weird creepy uncle. I'm just joking. No, he's not.
He's not creepy. Well, he's creepy, but in the the harmless way,
not in a Sale sort of way, but in a
He's creepy in the way of like not knowing that some of the things he says actually have like double meanings. Like he's basically very innocent like that. Like he doesn't really even know.
He's kind of creepy in a Michael Scott sort of way, but not like totally, like where Michael Scott would say stupid things on The Office that he didn't realize were stupid. You know? Yeah. I think my favorite employee this week would be Mateo. Yeah, Nico Santos was great in this episode. It just showed his smarmy two-sidedness really well. I just think I just liked his, like, you know, going in and putting his vest on and then pretending to put those globes on that end cap and stuff, and acting like he's an employee, and then going back out and playing both sides of the coin sort of thing, like I said earlier.
Yeah, it's great.
I don't know. I just like that. I guess that would be, I mean, there's no more to it really. I just liked his presence in the show. I mean, I could have picked Garrett, but he's just good always, so it's kind of hard to.
I mean, yeah, it would always be picking Garrett every single episode. So,
but I think this kind of showed, you know, the whole Nico thing. I mean, and probably like second place would be would be Jeff. I mean, because it's the Jeff introduction, and Michael Bunin or Bunin or Bunin. I don't know how you say his name. It's Bunin. I don't know how you would say that. That's his last name. I'd have to find that out somehow. But it's really he's really good in this show. I like him. I mean, he used to be on the TV show My Boys, which was a TBS show.
Okay, I remember that
which
show.
I absolutely love that show. So I like him as an actor. He's got good comic timing and everything overall. So I was glad when they added him to the peripheral cast of this show.
Attention Cloud9 shoppers, today's special is...
What's a scene in this episode that you think was the best, Matt? What's your favorite?
Oh, man. I don't know. I mean, because they all kind of just sort of go into each other, so it's kind of hard to, like, I mean, I like the negotiation scene. I guess I'll just do that. Like the negotiation scene when Amy's wearing like a dress with the tag still on, and Jonah's somehow got his fedora back, even though they'd thrown it out in the hallway. I'm not sure how he even got it back. But somehow it was.
He must have picked it up when he was coming in or something. Yeah.
I mean, I like that scene because Jeff is even kind of telling him like you're really new to all of this. Like you still have the tag on your suit,
on her Barbara Bush looking suit.
Yeah.
As Garrett calls it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good scene. I like that negotiation scene. I don't know. Anything else you want to say about that scene, or is that?
No, that's about it.
Yeah, I think my favorite scene is just a small little scene, and it's where Dina and Amy are both trying to get Sandra on their sides, and they're kind of treating her like a dog. Like they're like, "Here, Sandra, come here, good girl, Sandra, come on," like stuff like that. And then Dina shakes her keys and stuff. I just don't know why, but it makes me laugh every time I see that. So
yeah, shaking her keys.
Yeah,
like that's hilarious.
Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, and she was just recently Kaliko Kiani Q I don't know. Anyways, the actress who plays Sandra, I'm sorry out there if you're listening that I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm going to look these up, both you and the guy that plays Jeff. Anyways, they just upped her to regular full-time cast member now, which is cool, which I didn't realize she hadn't been, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool. She's a good actress.
Yeah.
Attention Cloud9 associates, it's time to grab your go-backs.
What is something in this episode that you think could have been done better, or you would have taken out, or something, or whatever, anything like that, Matt?
Nah, not really.
Nothing?
Nothing. Not really. I don't see anything that was wrong with it.
Yeah. The only thing I see wrong with it is there was no Marcus.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I think Marcus would have been a good addition to this episode.
Was he not introduced yet?
Oh, no, he was already introduced last season.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, he wasn't there. I mean, you had Dougie, who was kind of similar, but this is the only episode Dougie was ever in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, that was played by Eli Henry. Yeah. But it's the only episode I remember Dougie being in. I don't think he's in any other episodes.
Yeah, that's what I can remember.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird. But anyways, yeah. I mean, it's understandable why Cheyenne wasn't there because she's off on maternity leave. Right. So, of course, she's not going to be in this episode. But I would have liked to have seen Marcus. But he comes back with vengeance, I think, in the next episode. So we'll look forward to that and get some John Barinholtz on. Then. Yeah, anyways, I just think Marcus is one of my favorite characters, so it's kind of hard to...
Yeah, he's great.
I'm glad that he's in a lot more now. But anyways, I think that's about it for right now for this episode. We're going to close right now. Hey, folks, this is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
Matthew Haas.
We just wanted to tell you about our great podcast called Super. It's called All Too Real. And on that show, what do we do, Matt?
We watch biopics, and then we talk about whether or not the movie matched up with the real story or not.
So it
was a lot more exciting than that, though.
Yeah, so we We analyze the real story and the real story.
Get it?
Get it? You know?
Real.
Yeah, they're spelled differently,
Yeah.
folks. You can guess which one I said which way. Anyways, so sometimes we have guests, sometimes we don't. But we talk about great movies like Shattered Glass and The Social Network and Futile and Stupid Gesture, among others. Those are some of the ones that we've covered so far, and we're going to cover a lot more. So please subscribe on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your great, fun podcasts. And be sure to share it with your friends.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
And make sure you're not afraid to get all too real. Bye-bye. Mention Cloud9 shoppers. The store will be closing this month.
Anything you need to promote or talk about or tell us about here, Matthew, before we close the podcast?
Yeah, Tony Generous reached out to me again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, the step cousin, twice, three times removed, Tom Petty.
Yeah. How's he doing?
He's doing okay. He's staying in an abandoned fake space shuttle that was used in the 80s to demonstrate, space or whatever. He's living in one of those now somewhere. I don't know where. I think it's like somewhere in Colorado.
Really?
Yeah. He's pretty much just lives in it. He makes
Is this like in the mountains or in the desert or something?
I think it's just in the city somewhere. I don't know. And like a parking lot, I think, somewhere. He didn't really
like in a superstore parking lot.
I don't know if it's a superstore, but it was,
I'm just trying to tie it in.
No,
but anyways,
I'm not sure exactly where it is. And he didn't really elaborate too much on it. He just kind of said something about that it's nobody uses it. I guess nobody's claimed it or whatever. So just guess lives there now. I don't know.
So now it's his.
Well, we'll see. Someone's bound to claim it at some point. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. Does it look like a space shuttle or?
He didn't send any pictures. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe he's just thinking it is. Maybe it's just an RV or something.
Could just be. Probably is, knowing him. He probably just I don't know. Sometimes he mistakes things. So could just be an RV somewhere that he found. He's been writing feverishly was the word he used. Again, I don't really know writing because most of the stuff he sends me are covers of Tom Petty songs that actually use different chords than what the...
Maybe he really meant he was just writing with a fever.
Oh, maybe. I didn't think about that. Yeah, he could have a fever.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's just staying in a abandoned RV, probably he doesn't have great health right now, so
yeah,
could have caught a cold or something. I don't know. But but he said he was going to send me some new music soon. He lost his recorder that he was using. Which was basically my old phone that he
stole from you.
Well, I let him. I mean,
you let him take it.
I let him quote steal it. I mean, I felt bad for him, so he quote borrowed it and never returned it.
That's a nice phone, though.
I was like, yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah.
I felt bad for him. Plus, I want him to be able to succeed, because he's got some pretty good ideas and he's got, kind of a quirky personality, but perhaps.
See, because I've never met him. So how old of a man is he?
He's probably like 50.
Okay.
Maybe 49.
Yeah.
Something like that. He kind of looks like he's used to this kind of life.
Yeah.
Like touring and, kind of living sort of like a somewhat, very like just low key
He's
kind
a
of
vagabond.
I wouldn't call him quite. I mean, I guess he is right now, but but I don't mean
a hermit, a scallywag.
I guess very frugal is what he's very low maintenance.
Frugal chef.
He's a frugal Fig Newton. I don't know.
Frugal filmmaker. Wait, no, he's not a filmmaker.
No,
he's a frugal.
Well, he did make a film in the 70s, but he said he's not allowed to talk about it anymore. There's some weird waiver he signed from the government.
Wouldn't he have been like a child in the 70s?
Yeah, but he said he made a film. The government doesn't want anyone to know about it. And he signed a paper saying that he wasn't allowed to. I don't know.
He doesn't know the name of it or
anything?
anything?
He didn't say what it was about. He didn't say anything.
No.
He mentioned something about something in the sky. That's all he was allowed to say. So I don't know what that meant. Could have been a spaceship.
Maybe. Did he have something to do with Star Wars?
I don't know. Well, no, he said it was more of like a home movie.
Okay.
Not like a theatrical
movie. Okay. I was just wondering if he worked on Star Wars with George Lucas or something.
He was involved in a home movie. He was in it. I guess is the word. And
Okay.
then the government made him and his family or whoever was with them at the time. I don't know, but
Maybe this ties all into that space shuttle thing.
Maybe
Maybe that's where he got it.
Maybe he remembers that, and that makes him give him some comfort. I don't know. He does mention a lot of stuff about the stars and the sky and the galaxy when he talks to me.
Yeah.
But he never really mentions it directly in context of any kind of, extraterrestrial life. He just kind of says it sort of, kind of just very metaphorical or just very kind of just sort of out of context. I don't know. Maybe there's something going on here. Maybe he saw UFO when he was a kid or something, and then the government, said no, sign this paper, don't show the movie.
I'm sure he didn't just see an episode of Star Trek.
Who knows? I mean, with him, he's got a very wild imagination.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
With him, it could be either way. And I don't want to discount it either way because it could
turned on
be,
TV and Battlestar Galactica was on, and he was just like, "Oh wait,
I mean, he said he did have one of those things in the ceiling that a lot of kids do with the stars, on the ceiling to make it look like he's looking into space. And he said that he would literally stare at that for like 2 or 3 hours when he was a kid and go and sleep at night and just look at the stars. I don't know. Maybe
he does sound like an interesting guy. I mean, I really hope to meet him someday.
I mean, yeah, I'd like to introduce you to him too.
Yeah,
he's got that kind of kind of unique personality that's a little bit quirky, but it might be able to be if he was under the right management, he would be able to use that towards his advantage as opposed to living inside of abandoned fake space shuttles. He can make some good money and still be able to be like he's kind of like a little bit less quirky than the late Rocky Erickson, who just died recently.
Yes.
From the 13th Floor Elevators and a bunch of solo music that he made and produced and recorded over past 50 years or whatever. He's not as quiet as to that level because Rocky actually had like real mental problems like schizophrenia and stuff like that. I don't think Tony really has technically any kind of illness. He's a very quirky personality.
He's just one of those guys that lives by the law of being yourself.
Yeah. And he's a good friend. He's my friend.
Yes.
I mean, that one time when we slept in the ditch in Cary, Ohio, that was pretty fun. We just chatted for a while, just putting grass and hay to cover us up like for blankets or whatever.
Yeah,
that was nice. A little bit cold, but it was it was nice.
What time of the year was that?
That was last summer.
Oh, okay.
It gets cold at night.
Yeah.
I mean, cooler at night. I mean, a lot of people think, oh, you could sleep outside in the summer. It's like, yeah, but it does get a little bit colder, and for whatever reason, people need to be covered when they go to sleep. A lot of people do. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
For some reason, just going to sleep without any kind of cover, most people don't like that. So, gotta have something. So, we, took some hay, just kind of covered ourselves with it in the ditch. It was a dry ditch. It wasn't a wet one or anything like that.
Well, when things like that come up, you gotta make hay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that meant.
And that's what we did, though.
Yeah.
So, and that's when he played me, some of his first songs of covers of the Tom Petty. Yes. Like Breakdown.
Now, are we sure that he's actually related to Tom Petty?
He claims he is. I mean, I haven't done any kind of ancestry test on him. I mean, I wouldn't know how. And plus, he's not really related. He says he's a step
okay.
Step cousin.
So we couldn't send that off to 23andMe and
no, because you'd be getting his biological ancestry.
Yeah.
Which is not connected to. I mean, it could be connected to Tom Petty in some accidental way that no one knew about, which then would actually make them biologically related. But as far as we know, he's a step cousin, 3 times removed. Don't know really how they met each other or
if they met each other.
Well, I would imagine that they did because it'd be kind of weird to be doing Tom Petty covers and claiming to be a family member if you're only tangentially. Is that a word? Tangent? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah,
just very
word.
Sparsely. There we go. Sparsely related.
Yes.
To a person. I mean, at least Kenny Rogers' actual brother was, doing covers of Kenny Rogers' music. Yeah, for a while.
Oh, wow.
I think it was his younger brother.
I know Johnny Cash's brother was doing that, too.
Yeah, I think that Kenny Rogers'
and then Gallagher's brother was fooling people and going off on tour doing comedy stops as Gallagher, but he wasn't Gallagher.
That wasn't him.
He went as Gallagher, too.
Right. And then there was a whole legal issue about that. But at least those were actual living relatives. It'd be one thing if someone actually just wasn't at all involved in their life and just be like, oh, I'm just going to pretend that. I don't think he's pretending.
Well, it's like how your brother and my sister do a podcast called Super Story 2, and they just repeat every word that we say on their podcast.
Wow, that's pretty good, like memorization tactics right there to be able to do that.
Well, they transcribe it first, I think. And then,
it's still pretty.
And the weird thing is your brother plays me and my sister plays you. It's just the strangest, you know. Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever. Try that out.
That's totally not true, folks.
Okay.
I'm just joking.
Well, I don't know. Anyway, that's the update from Tony Generous.
Okay.
I half believe what he says.
Yes.
I don't know if he is totally telling the truth, but he's interesting enough of a guy that I kind of want to believe him, and I want to see this play out and see if it actually is true. You know?
I have faith.
Yeah. So
Yep. I won't back down, man.
Nope.
All right. So I think that's about all we got for tonight. I don't know. We'll catch you later, folks. And for right now, the store is closed.
This is the Super Story Podcast, a Superstore fan podcast.
A Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.